USANA was just an idea, and the idea was founded in the laboratory, and founded by a scientist, Dr. 𝐊𝐿. And it's been my privilege to be part of opening all of our countries around the world, including the Philippines. I came here over 15 years ago, and I've been back many, many times. Just a brief introduction as to USANA and who we are very clearly. One is the vision of our company is to create the healthiest family on earth. We live that, we breathe it. You could ask any employee anywhere around the world what our vision is, and they could tell you that. Secondly, the mission of our company is to empower the individual. So how better to empower an individual through health, offering an offering that will help improve their health, but also help improve their financial status in life. And so empowering the individual should not be lost on who we are. And then the other thing that about USANA that you should know is we are cell obsessed. C-E-L-L. Our bodies. We are obsessed about the cells of our bodies. You see, our founder was one of the world's renowned microbiologists and immunologists in cell culture technology and diagnostics. And he learned how to nutrient cells in the laboratory so that they would stay in a state of health for decades. He had a cell culture group that was over 40 years old, and it was as vibrant and healthy that day as it was when he received it. And one day his health was failing, and he was coming out of the laboratory, and he wanted a bottle of vitamins. Pulled up the bottle of vitamins, looked at the label, understanding what the ingredients were, and he came to the quick conclusion that he wasn't going to put those in his body with all the fillers and the synthetic materials and all the other kinds of things. And he said, if we fed the cells in our laboratory what they're feeding humans, we'd be out of business. And that was the genesis of USANA. That's why we started, was learning how to effectively distribute around the world products that would feed the cells of our bodies the proper nutrients they need to maintain optimal health, all the necessary elements and nutrients in one company, which is USANA Health Sciences. Now the word USANA, Dr. 𝐊𝐿 took kind of a Greek derivative and took the U part of it and the sana. That U means true, and this is what he told me, and then the sana means health, true health. And so USANA was founded on the principle of true health. For me, true health is not just the body, and it's not that I can run around the street and be strong. It also includes the mind and the spirit. And if we don't address the body, the mind, and the spirit, I think we're missing a very, very vital part of health as it relates to our well-being. I know from personal experience, having struggled with anxiety, that when I'm anxious, I'm not really eating well, my heart is racing, I'm not getting the oxygen into my organs that they need, the oxygen in my blood, it affects my overall health. But if I can have control over my mind somewhat, and it's hard to have control over your mind completely, but if you can learn tools, but also the proper nutrients that help that process, then we will inevitably be healthier. And so USANA for me is much more than a bottle of vitamins. It represents the family that I sat with last night here at dinner, and I met the second generation who is now in USANA. And it's become a generational thing where family members and children and kids are now being involved as they're growing older. And as we're here in the Philippines longer, we're going to see more and more where one generation will work with the next generation, and then that generation will then carry on their legacy, which is a beautiful thing. And I've seen that in other parts of the world over and over again. I love the people of the Philippines. I love your I love that we start our prayers with our meetings with a prayer. There isn't any other place in the world, and I've done meetings most everywhere where we started with a prayer. And last night we started with a prayer. We've done that all through the years that I've been in the Philippines. Faith is so important. It's part of the equation, in my opinion. Priorities are very important, and I think personally for me, my relationship with God is number one. Number two is my family. I've been married 39 years. I'm a grandpa. I've got 7. Sorry to have you a little bit later. I got 7 grandkids. I'm in grandpa mode. I have 4 children. And then, after family, then comes business and comes everything else we're doing. And USANA is not the end, it's the means to the end. It should be helpful in helping our relationships, helping who we deal with, helping what we do as a company. And that is really the culture of our company that I try and spread around the world. Now, I've thrown out the goal globally to our company for 1 million active customers. Now, it's important that I explain to you what an active customer is that we're measuring. An active customer is somebody who has purchased from us in the last 90 days. We have millions of people who are taking USANA and trying USANA, and customers all over throughout our history, literally millions, who have used our products. But we want people who are really all about changing their lives in a meaningful way, and you can't do that without consistency. And that's in every aspect of our life. And so, for me, what's most important with our vision, the creating the healthiest family on earth, we're not really that healthy family if we're not consistently doing things that help us be healthy. And so we're measuring consistency in that number. So right now we are, I don't have the exact number, but we are just shy of 600,000 active customers around the world. In the Philippines or in this part of Asia outside of Greater China, it represents about 20% of our total revenue and sales. And so it's millions and millions of dollars, but more importantly, it's people, families, it's individuals. And so as we shoot towards the 1 million, obviously we're not going to be happy with that. We're going to go to 2 million, to 4 million, to 6 million. We just announced the opening of India, which is a population base of several billion, which will certainly lend itself to us reaching this goal of 1 million active customers. And we'll continue to spread around the world. But most importantly, as the chairman of the board of a publicly traded company trading on the New York Stock Exchange, I can honestly tell you, as I'm standing before you, USANA will continue to invest in the Philippines. We'll continue to invest in research and development and bring products to the Philippines that are, we find efficacious, we find valuable and of use to the overall health of the Filipino market. And that is my commitment and the commitment of our company to continue. We're here coming on 15 years. I look forward to when I can stand here in another 15 years and say we're celebrating 30 years. We plan on continuing to grow, and we plan on continuing to expand as we're here in the Philippines. I'm on the board of directors for the World Federation of Direct Sellers. We're meeting in Dubai in 2 weeks. One of the things that's very important to us as a company and what has caused us to be here 15 years and to be in the marketplace 30 years is we also have a commitment to doing things right. We, through the World Federation of Direct Sellers, those who are members of that make a commitment to an ethics and integrity level to be sure and follow all governmental regulations. And we actually have our own self-regulatory body that looks at income claims, that looks at business claims, that looks at product claims to make sure that we can substantiate what we're saying and that it's real. And I think that's very important. Lastly, we manufacture our products. That's one of our differentiating characteristics. We know what goes in our products. We source the raw materials. We test them. We manufacture and create it. So everything that's on the label, we know is in the product. And there aren't things that are in the product that aren't on the label, like banned substances. USANA has a $1 million athlete guarantee. And if any professional or Olympic athlete would happen to test positive for a banned substance, USANA guarantees up to $1 million to our athletes who are involved in USANA. We have more Olympic athletes on USANA products than any other nutritional supplement in the world. Many are gold medal, silver medal winning athletes from the Olympics. Athletes are a big part of our story because they are drawn to our products. We don't pay our athletes. They come to us because they want, their body is their product, and they want what's best in the world in their bodies, and that's why we continue to attract athletes. Enough of the sales pitch. I'm sorry, I could go on and on. But I'm very passionate and committed to the notion of bringing health to the world, and never has it been more relevant than it is today. Hello? Hello? Oh, no, it's okay. I believe today we are more connected than ever, but less connected than ever. And if we've learned one thing coming out of the pandemic is that connectivity doesn't equal relationships and doesn't equal happiness and building a life. And the more connected we could be as individuals and human beings in a very, very disconnected world, the better off we'll be for our overall health and well-being. So thank you for your valuable time, for being here, for taking time to hear about USANA and what we're all about. We are a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange, so you can look at all of our public records. They're a matter, if they're not right, that I go to jail, so I make sure they're right, because I don't want to go to jail. But we are very successful in our 31st year, and look forward to many more here in the Philippines. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sir Kelvin. Now,